I had a question for you guys.
Yeah.
In their peak, please rank these three players. Kendrick Nunn, Shane Larkin, and Mike James.
I already knew that. In their prime?
In their prime,
Like
yeah.
Kendrick Nunn is in his prime right now.
True.
At least in Europe.
True.
Because he's an NBA
Yeah.
player.
And he's 29.
He's an NBA player.
So we are taking Kendrick Nunn right now. Shane, when they went back-to-back probably.
Or during this COVID year,
season, when
22
he
points per game.
Scored 50 on
49.
Bayern,
49,
broke the three-pointers record.
But they went back-to-back after that, right?
Yes,
True.
But the season before, the season that was stopped by
yeah.
COVID, it was definitely Shane's MVP season. He would have been the MVP. So I think we're taking Shane from that year.
And
Mike?
actually, Mike was also playing his peak basketball in Skaya during COVID year, 21 point per game in a Final Four contender.
I mean, Mike, last year he was the MVP, but you could argue that wasn't even his best season. So I don't know. Just let's say peak Mike James and compare the three.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one because they're also different players.
And it's like, to me, like Kendrick has been there only for like 1 year, 1.5
He's already a EuroLeague champion.
I know.
He already had like dominant playoff performance against Maccabi.
But it's just the factor that these other two guys have been here for so long, and I'm like,
I can rank my preferences. Like,
Let's go.
It doesn't necessarily mean that one is better
start,
than the other.
bench, cut.
Sort of. Like Kendrick Nunn, first of all, he's a lefty, which makes him difficult to guard. He drives, he shoots, he has the confidence. He's taller than those two guys, which is also an important factor.
True.
Not that he's great
I
defensively,
believe he can't. I mean, it's not like he can't play defense.
Yeah.
Sometimes he just doesn't feel like it.
it's the thing with all three of these guys.
A lot of guys.
and a lot of scoring guards because you just don't have that much energy.
Yeah.
Like if you
Or you don't want, or you just don't want it sometimes.
if you take these three players
Come on
and
now.
you say like which one of these three could have a big role on an NBA team and average 15 points per game as a starting guard. Kendrick Nunn did that for Eric Spoelstra, and just the lack of size makes Mike James and Shane Larkin players that couldn't probably have a big role on a playoff team in the NBA. It kind of makes me pick Kendrick Nunn as the number one option here. Then Mike James as my second option. James doesn't dunk anymore these days, but he's a
he was fine.
He was a athletic guard.
Yeah.
He could explode. He could do everything. Drive to his left, drive to his right. The 3-point shot. Most of his shots are difficult shots, but somehow he maintains those solid percentages. So Mike
Shane
James
is back-to-back EuroLeague champion.
Mike
That's
James
his
is
advantage
there,
as
and
well.
What Shane did there with Ephes.
And I'm not saying that one is better than the other or
Yeah.
anything like that, but just like Shane Larkin is again a different player. Somebody who's going to run like crazy. He's going to make a lot of off-ball movements. He's going to shoot threes from the pick and rolls. Right now, he's playing more like a facilitator coming back from his injury. Just 12 assists yesterday, and 13 assists is his personal record when he played for Baskonia. So I'm just putting him here as a number 3, not because he's far away from these other two guys, but I think right now, for Kendrick Nunn, it's much easier to break EuroLeague defenses, and the size advantage means something. The fact that he's left-handed also maybe means a little, and now he's in a really, really good shape, and he's probably in his peak right now at the moment.
Okay, so your order is Kanan, Mike James, and Shane Larkin.
Yeah.
Okay. August?
I don't know. It's tough, man. It's tough. I'm gonna do the LeBron, South Beach. Choosing it's tough, man. It's tough. But peak Larkin.
Peak Larkin was scoring 29 points. He also had a 29 points average in the Final Four. It was 2017-2018 season. He scored 21 points in the EuroLeague final, just as Kanan did when they won their first EuroLeague title with Ephes. Some like numbers are just insane. For example, Mike's playoff high is 19 points per game. Kanan 19.2. Larkin 19.6. All of them were shooting like crazy, over 50% from 2 and over 40% from 3. Final Four numbers I've mentioned already. And yeah, the regular season highs, Nunn 19.8 this year. By the way, he improved his PAR by like 7 points. Mike was 21.1 in CSKA season, and Shane Larkin had 22.2 in the COVID season.
Peak Larkin, peak Mike, peak Nunn. In that order. But I hear what you're saying
Kendrick
about the
is
size.
6'5".
I know, but we are not talking about who will be the best player in the NBA. That would be a different order for me.
Okay, that's a nice switch of an angle.
You just
that's true.
Peak in the EuroLeague, what we are seeing right now. So if I would go peak Larkin, peak Mike, and then peak Nunn. But it's just what I remember from those championship years, what he did in that COVID year. That's a 3-year peak. That's as high as you can probably get. And he was doing it all. Like his form did not drop in the Final Fours. I still remember, those drives against Barcelona in the Final Fours, him making big shots. I don't know. Maybe it's just because Nunn only played 1 season. Maybe it's
because consistency
last year
and
when
longevity is a big
he only
thing.
played a few months of good basketball in EuroLeague, and we were approaching the Maccabi Power Series. I said that I picked Wade Baldwin above him just because Baldwin
he wasn't that efficient
for 2 years in Maccabi was consistent. He was one of the best guards in the league, athletic. But now, after a year, I can say that Kendrick Nunn at the moment is probably the best player we have in this league.
Yeah.
And you? No.
I'm just guy making questions,
No,
man. I'm just the guy asking questions.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Bro,
that was my part of this podcast.
I'm finishing the podcast if you don't say your top 3 right now.
That's okay to me. We're going to continue.
Just say it without arguments.
I really don't know. I'm going to use Carson Edwards'
you
example.
put us
You can't do this, man. I'm not answering any more questions.
You put us in such a difficult position because we were not prepared to rank these 3 star players.
That's the fun part to me. That's the fun part to me.
You were the one who
asking questions. I thought it would be an interesting debate. I would like to hear your thoughts. I have no clue.
I think we should leave.
I really think we should leave if you don't answer this question.
How long was the podcast? 27 minutes. That's okay. That's okay. We can finish the podcast.
If you want to.
I'm going to finish the podcast with the rumors that I know and the Christmas wishes and stuff. I'm fine.